No Monkey and Addon. Turns out there's actually beef. So we've got 3 links here to check out, and we've got a comment as well. Now, for context, I'll give you context from my opinion, from my point of view. All I've been told is that No Monkey said that bone claws are bad, and then Addon said no, he's only saying that to merch them, or that he's saying that to merch them. Apparently, he said he was merching them, or we don't know the context of what he actually said, but that's the general line. And then later on, apparently Addon then said bone claws are good, and people are upset because he didn't apologize to No Monkey for accusing him of merching when he said they were good. I haven't seen the context yet, but in my opinion, it doesn't sound like he needs to be apologizing, but we'll have a look and we'll see how it goes. I don't know which order to watch this in. We have No Monkey's side of the story on a video here, apparently, which I think we can watch first. That's the easiest way to go about it. Then we've got some clips, and we've got a screenshot here as well on what seems to be YouTube of Addon talking to someone. But we'll watch No Monkey's side first because I think this is the easiest. I don't know if it's in order. We'll find out. If it's too quiet, let me know. More drama. Beautiful. Good luck. Get the popcorn ready. Actually,
where you use a ZC.
Before we listen to this idiot anyway, this is a 17-minute fucking guide on Tormented Demons, by the way. 17 minutes for a guide on how to kill some of the last 2 minutes, if that. It's a long time.
Currently, Burning Claws will not beat it. And I didn't want to end this video without mentioning the fact that Bone Claws have controversy surrounding them right now.
Okay.
Some say they are bad, some say they are good. Let me make this perfectly clear and to the point. Any item at the beginning of an update that hasn't been tested is going to be volatile. I spent every day, 8+ hours each day, testing Burning Claws in every location I could to gather information. Outside of calcs because they weren't updated yet, or didn't have proper formulas, or they were bugged. I worked with Mulgoat Kirby and nailed down
Mulgoat Kirby's Discord. He has the DPS spreadsheet for Burning Claws. It's also worth noting, and a lot of people that are like, a lot of endgame PVMers, high-level community PVMers, either don't mention this or don't think to... I'm pretty sure they just don't mention it, but just because the DPS calculator or spreadsheet like says an item is good, doesn't mean that it's like the end-all be-all, right? You should take that with a grain of salt. You shouldn't be using that as law. So if there's like for example, especially if the margins are small, if there's like a 4% DPS difference between like Burning Claws and Dragon Claws, for example, then it's simply just a roll of the fucking dice of which is better. Like Mixed Hide. Exactly, the whole Mixed Hide thing. Like Mixed Hide, it flat out is not better than Bandos. On the DPS calculator, it was slightly ahead of Bandos. It's flat out not fucking better. DPS calculator doesn't have this very important option. No DPS calculator in RuneScape has this. There's one very important option that needs to be enabled in the future, and it's a box that says, I'm a retard. That needs to be checked, because that's what you are when you play this game. You make mistakes, you're dog shit at the game, you miss ticks, you drink brews, which lowers your stats, which lowers your DPS. You eat food, which means you lose ticks, you lowers your DPS. You fucking just don't attack consistently. If you've got multiple targets, you're taking damage, you're switching between targets, attacking with the wrong prayer style or wrong attack style. It happens. People make mistakes. People die. Okay? Just because there's a 4% margin, it makes no difference a lot of the time. PvP is a good example. You can have better gear than someone and still have them beat the shit out of you. You go to LMS, you can have the best gear, you can be a better player, and someone will still just rag bolt and avenge the shit out of you just because that's the way the game works. You hit zeros, you splash, you die. Spreadsheets, DPS calculators and spreadsheets should be more of a guide than a strict rule to follow. And I think that's important to remember when looking at anything like this, because you're just going to save a lot of time and arguing. If Burning Claws are close to DDS, then it doesn't matter if you have Burning Claws or DDS. They're both good. They're both shit.
And came up with Burning Claws being good. For people like Addon and others to spend those days bad-mouthing myself and others for doing extensive research and testing, spreadsheet, calcs, simming, you name it, well, he AFK'd at Krill and fed into rumors of merching, is not only an absolute unfounded lie, but just disappointing to hear from someone who claims to be a very level-headed and community-oriented person. Putting my community down when, according to Twitch analytics, we share over 78% of the same viewer base is not only downright disrespectful, but also bizarre. Especially because he released a new video taking our calcs and saying, yes, they are good, oops. But never apologize for going up and beyond just a small disagreement like it should have been. I love the community, and my goal has always been to help you guys with guides and give you the knowledge to go out and even find your own answers. GP means...
No Monkey's throwing some fucking shade there at Addicon. Okay. This is definitely not the start of it. We need to go back and look at some Addicon stuff, but he's straight up like... He's laying down the fucking law here.
Nothing to me. I care about teaching and helping people learn. That's why I make guides, and that's why we built the Discord Next Finder for people to grow with strong mentors like Hedron, Connard, Sci-Fi, and many others. I know people have strong opinions about me, but to be malicious towards other helpful community members is wrong. I didn't really want to talk about this drama, but with how much it is affecting both YouTube/Twitch chat, I feel like I'd give some perspective and clarity on the subject before any more rumors are spread. Addie and a few others didn't like those calcs, or the conclusions we came to. That's fine. It's okay to disagree and to go back and forth, figure things out. But what is not okay is to come after my community that also happens to be your community, everyone's community, and attack them. I'm trying to create a place where voices are heard and welcomed. That's how Thralls got into Inferno. That's how Cox got its massive QOL update. With all of that said, thank you so much for all the support lately. Our new Next Learner section in our Discord has been doing well, and the support on all platforms has been ridiculous lately. I really appreciate everybody. If you like the video, leave a like and or subscribe.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, that's fair enough. Apparently the 100% accuracy was a bug and it's been fixed. DPS and these motherfuckers just went down. The 100% accuracy is only when the shield is down.
What's the smell of wee in here?
No, Mana Goblin, shut the fuck up. We're not doing alerts while we're doing a video. Shush. Or I will disable cards. Okay, that's good to get some clarity from No Monkey side at least. 100% accuracy as well as the mechanic. Yeah, it's only meant to be when the shield's down. That's how it was designed. I want to see from Addicon's side now. Apparently we don't have a clip of him actually saying anything about it, unless there was an Addicon video on YouTube about the No Monkey stuff. We've got Gnome Funky here, which is a clip someone sent me. Let's have a look at this. I don't know what this is. Some volume.
But I won't really believe it if it's on paper. Stuff on paper never seems to really be very useful to talk about or think about.
Okay, look, do we have any chat to go along with this? What is this? 6 days ago.
But I won't really believe it if it's on paper. Stuff on paper never seems to really be very useful to talk about or think about or anything like that. No Monkey says it's this. No Monkey said Northwest Pillar was this. No Monkey said Mixed Hide was good. No Monkey thought that Shadow P2 was good. No Monkey's wrong about all the stuff he's said recently, so I'd love to see him actually prove it instead of just saying it.
True. I didn't even need to say all that shit at the start because Addicon pretty much just verified it. Doesn't matter, man, when it's on paper. I don't. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's all pretty valid, to be honest. No Monkey did say. No Monkey did say that. What is it called? Mixed Hide was like best in slot or broken or some shit. That's true. Yeah. The video on double speed, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's on 1.25 speed. I'm not sure why. Maybe I've been watching Twitch in fast mode.
But I won't really.
Okay, fair enough. We don't know the context of the comment, but okay. Why is this on bright mode? Who the fuck sent me this? Ew. Anyways, what do we got here? This one's called Flame.
What do you do? Please never listen to No Monkey when it comes to gearing advice or PVM advice or just actually anything.
Okay. Fair enough.
What do you do?
Okay, I mean... Alright. So he said a few things. I don't see where he said he was merching though. Do we have that? We've got a comment here as well. That says, can we zoom in on this shit? So someone goes, crazy that you dedicated 2 streams to completely shit talking No Monkey and Mulgoat Kirby just to come around and say exactly what they were saying about Claw. So is this from an Addicon video or from a No Monkey video? Can we get the video? Can I get a link of that, please? You were vile and hateful multiple streams. What a joke to double back on this. I don't think anything Addicon was necessarily said was like vile. Hedron's his girlfriend. Okay. Someone said based, and then Addicon goes, hilarious that the only reason I've been talking about it is because so many people were getting wrong information from Gnome and are coming to me for more specific info. Did you expect me to just sit there and nod along? Perhaps consider here's the problem, shilling the useless item for 99% of the population. To be honest, No Monkey has been quite consistent with shit takes, as we have seen in the past. So, there's probably a mixture of chatters going from one stream to the other and being like, you know, No Monkey said this, Addicon said this, and things being blown out of proportion. But No Monkey hasn't got a very good track record for being right or intelligent when it comes to the game, in my opinion. That doesn't make him a bad person or a bad creator or anything, but maybe it's the choice of words. The word broken and best in slot or meta is probably thrown around a bit too loosely with a lot of these people. But also, what defines good and what defines bad? Saying bone claws are good or bone claws are bad, what does that mean? Because for me, on my Ironman, whose account is my best weapon is an abyssal fucking dagger, bone claws would be very good for me. But dragon claws would be better, right? Then bone claws would be bad, would be shit. So I think it's all subjective for many different views. From the moment we knew the theoretical numbers based because they're so close, I asked people to stop claiming shit and actually go test stuff before claiming they're good. The fellow who went into Coliseum and proved a use case across 2 days testing did wonders, and I instantly started telling people about their use case there. It's not my fault Gnome picks a new quirk from each release to hype up and bait his audience with. You're so far up his ass, you just don't realize and assume anyone saying anything different is a vile attack. Grow up and go outside. I don't think Addicon was like saying like anything inherently wrong. Like, sure, it was mildly, you could say it was aggressive and you know, saying No Monkey does this and that, but it's not like Addicon was necessarily lying. I hope I found it right at the bottom. Right at the bottom of Addicon's Scorching Bow video. Oh, okay, is this it here? Well, we got another clip here. What's this? Oh, we got a... What the... Fucking Red Bull adverts. Abuse often and early. So, is this someone clipping an Addicon video? Clickbait titles takes common nowadays. Everything is clickbait on the internet. Nothing on the internet. Everything in content creation is clickbait. It's whether it's accurate clickbait or not. Right? Where's the ad blocker? I don't know. Is there an ad blocker for Twitch? Addicon's getting fucking 16 cents. There you go. GZ. All right. What do we got here? This isn't even a clip. You sent me the actual fucking VOD. Okay.
Gnome says the opposite. Please don't listen to Gnome Monkey.
Okay. So, what do we got here in the chat? The new Burning Claws beat Void Waker at almost all locations. They are best in slot in TOA. Oh, this is from No Monkey, apparently. I'd like to know the source. They do not replace Zarek Crossbow as a spec weapon. The burn stacks and the more defense drain you apply, the better they are. The spec is only 30% making these OP. Not better at next than Void Waker or Zarek Crossbow. So this is an apparent quote. We won't say it's official, but this is an apparent quote. Whoever the fuck NapJN is, saying this.
Let's go! Gnome says the opposite. Please don't listen to Gnome Monkey. He is baiting you for views.
Okay. This is one you were talking about earlier. Was that all it was? Just saying he's baiting you for views? I mean, a large problem is, yeah, it's what happened with Dino and Odablock, right? It was just chatters going between each person's stream, talking shit, Chinese whispers, words get mixed up, context is misplaced. It's hard to find context in just text format, right? You don't know when someone says, fuck you don't know how aggressive it is or like what they actually mean because it's just fucking written on paper, right? So when you got some people taking offense, like secondhand offense from someone's comments, and then going to No Monkey and being like, hey, this guy said this about you, when the chatter's really upset, but it's actually just like yeah, don't listen to No Monkey because he's wrong. But this clip was 6 days ago, right? This one here. This clip was 6 days ago. So this was the day of release of Bone Claws.
But I won't really believe it if it's on paper.
Right?
Stuff on paper never seems to really be very useful to talk about.
And this was 1 day ago. So there's a 5-day period. It's unlikely that No Monkey has actually done the field testing yet on the claws. So it's likely that Addicon's not necessarily wrong. Right? Wrong clip. Where's the other one? Here. How long ago was this clip?
What do you do?
3 days ago.
Please never listen to No Monkey when it comes to gearing advice or PVM advice or just actually anything.
Like, Addicon's just asked for actual proof, like I said in that comment, not just like what the fucking calculator says. So I don't know. I think the big difference is direct interaction through his missus. Well, I mean, one thing you shouldn't do as a content creator is let your partner, who's not a content creator, try to fucking flagship and carry yourself through controversy, because that's going to go downhill for you very fucking quickly. Doesn't matter like who they are. It's one thing for her to moderate her man's Twitch chat, whatever, but to go into Addy's comments and drop a hot turd is dies of cringe. Yeah, I mean, I would love to know what this video is. This is from an Addicon video, right? At the end of the day, like, I wouldn't be, like, No Monkey should probably be, like, not having her fight his battles for him, whether he wants her to or not. Is this the video here?
It's been a few days.
Let's, probably not playing demo mode. Yep, no one cares. Is this where the comment might be? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, you got the video. Have you got the timestamp for me? Do you realize she was the comment? Yes, that's apparently No Monkey's girlfriend. I would probably be like, hey, let daddy handle this, you know, sort of energy. Just because it's like, unless you're telling her exactly what words to type, you're letting someone else speak for you, and then shit gets lost in translation again. It can go downhill very quickly. It's best not to have people fight your battles for you. It's hard enough when the chat's fucking fighting the battle for you that you don't even want to fucking have fought. Doesn't it get pegged by her, though? Well, according to Addicon, she is so far... Hold on, where is it? You're so far up his ass, you just don't realize it. So it's... Yeah, according to Addicon, he's just said that, yeah, she pegs him big time. And we're going to completely remove all context and just put that down as law. No Monkey gets pegged by his girlfriend because Addicon said so in the comments. And there's no denying it. We've got the imgur, that's it. Bone claw section is chaptered into... Okay, bone claw section, let's have a look. All right. Bone claw... Fuck, this is a big section. All right, good luck, boys. Here we go. If it's too loud, let me know. I can turn it down.
Oh boy. Before I get into Zami, what I want to do is read off a little bit of text that Kirby put in a channel.
Okay.
Talking about why the claws are good and why the claws are bad, because you may not trust me with calcs, and I sure don't, but I trust Kirby. And the bottom line is, these claws appear to be, the bone claws appear to be better than dragon claws by about 4% in most scenarios. Mm-hmm. And you might be like, wait a minute,
but 4%'s not that big of a deal. Let's be honest. It's fine to have just dragon claws.
Telling us the whole time they're not that good. It's true. The reason is because, practically speaking, they're not that strong. And so to quote Kirby directly, and before I get into the boss room, let me go through this. The new claws, this is completely how Kirby said it, word for word. They feel more like a side grade to dragon claws, beating claws by about 4% in most cases, sometimes a bit more, in some cases less. In cases where the main hand weapon, like Scythe, surpasses 14 DPS, this seems to be about where the dragon claws become more efficient. Also, about 10 to 16% of DPS comes from the burn. So if the enemy dies early, typically the dragon claws win. Special attack usage also determines which one wins on some bosses, with leftover special attack at the end of the fight. Boss cycles also determine who wins, with dragon claws winning at bloat, as the extra bone claws specs most likely end up being wasted ticks, unless you can get an extra scythe hit off.
Okay.
Not to mention reduced burn damage when bloat walks. This also makes burning claws struggle on opponents that go invulnerable, as a lot of burn is wasted.
Yeah.
As I look at it, it does make me wonder if burning claws even need a nerf, as they only slightly beat claws in optimal conditions, and lose out from many factors.
See,
at the same time, it's hard to call them...
That's exactly what I thought, to be honest. That's what I was thinking going into this. I agree. I think Mulgo Kirby's right. That's pretty much what I thought, but I needed someone to confirm it, so yeah.
Budget claws with how close they come, so the question is if we're okay with a side grade, or if we want them to feel more strictly like budget claws.
Yeah.
And on a more interesting note, if you're interested in this, from Kirby, he says, the worse DPS the main hand weapon has, like Scythe to Blade of Saildor to Tent Whip, the more benefit the player has from lower spec usage of Bone Claws, allowing them to spec more often.
Makes sense.
So our players on a budget will see more gains from Burning Claws over Dragon Claws than a Max Gear player.
Okay.
So that's all the technical stuff aside, but it's interesting, right? And
makes sense. So basically, there's no wrong choice between Dragon Claws and Bone Claws. Just fucking send it. It makes sense. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Basically what he's saying, which is what this is my position, on paper, Bone Claws do beat Dragon Claws seemingly everywhere. And yet, well, okay, maybe not everywhere, but nearly everywhere. And yet, when you take it out of the math and the DPS calcs, and you try and start simming it, or you start looking at practical use cases, Dragon Claws starts winning, which is really interesting, because you wouldn't think it would be that deep.
Like I said,
this is a similar scenario.
It doesn't matter what the DPS calculator says at the end of the day, because on tarmac, it says on tarmac is completely different to like on paper, right? Like shit being on paper doesn't matter, you know. Rune claws are fucking horrible, dude. Just don't start specking when what you're killing is about to die. Case closed. Pretty much, yeah. Maybe use bone claws at the start of every fight, and you're good. That's what it sounds like. I don't see like I still really wish I had that clip of Addon saying that he's merching. Unless it's that other clip. That can't be the original clip, right? The clip of Addon saying that he's just saying it to merch off of people, because that would give me a lot more context. Unless the one of him in bloat or whatever was the actual clip.
Likes of, for example, let's say Shadow at P2 Vazik. It may actually be technically BIS and good on paper, but practically you can't fit the switches in. And practically there are problems with moving it, using it properly, and all that. And so, my position on a lot of this stuff is, it's okay to look at the DPS calcs and the theoreticals, but you have to actually try it to know. And so for me, the Bone Claws don't seem to be doing that much.
I like that
they have a use case at Colosseum.
That makes me so happy. I never hear anyone mention or actually talk about like using a fucking brain when it comes to DPS calculators. So to hear someone like Addon saying that at the very least is like a big fucking dub for the community that watch his content, because like there's not enough people actually fucking helping idiots play the game, right? Which is what 90% of the play base is. Like, you're all fucking idiots. It's like, it is refreshing. It's nice to hear. Full spec bar Cerberus at the beginning of the fight with Burning Claws. I don't fucking have a clue. Maybe, yeah, if you want to, sure. I couldn't fucking tell you. Whatever he said, yeah. I was in the stream when he said it was a response to something suggesting, and his response is basically, yeah, maybe. Okay, I see.
But like max gear, and outside of that, they don't seem that good. What I suggest is that they turn it into, and we're going to get started real soon here, but what I suggest is they change it so it's 35% spec. And this would bring it back down, so it's always worse than Dragon Claws and Void Waker, which is closer to the original design idea, which was to create an item better than DDS, but worse than Claws and Void Waker. That seems to make the most sense to me, and because it is so contentious and sometimes good and sometimes bad, it's a bit confusing for people who don't really know how to gear well, and if you're in mid-gear, mid-game, you're never going to know. Like, I basically don't know. No one seems to know. So if the guys at the high end of the game who are like doing DPS calcs don't have a clue, how does anyone else? So I think they should change it to 35%, and that's all I'll say on that. Now, getting into the Zami method. I've been doing this on stream a bunch.
Zami method doesn't sound like something we need to listen to.
Super fun. It's super chill. Normally, what we do is we run around and we do like we move from tile to tile, and we try and kite.
We know this shit. That's fine. You go ahead and do that. It doesn't sound like he's really talking a whole lot of shit. It's a fair take. The 35% for the bone claws, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's necessary, but I haven't tried the claws. I haven't touched them yet, so I won't really like make a stance on it. I want to find that one clip again and rewatch it. The one of him where he mentions him merching.
But I won't really believe it if it's on paper.
I don't think it's this clip, is it?
Stuff on paper never seems to really be very useful to talk about or think about or anything like that. No monkey says it's BIS. No monkey said Northwest Pillar was BIS. No monkey said Mixed Hide was good. No monkey thought that Shadow P2 was good. No monkey's wrong about all the stuff he's said recently, so I'd love to see him actually prove it instead of just saying it.
And that's totally fine to say, by the way, because this was like day of release. This is 6 days ago when No Monkey hadn't, I believe, done any field testing, right? So I don't. We only have No Monkey's word to go off in his video as to like I guess people are expecting an apology from Addon.
I didn't want to end this.
I don't think that I'm not entirely sure if one's required in this situation. It just sounds like No Monkey jumped the gun a little bit early on giving information on the clause, which is totally fine. And Addon was like, no. not until we see evidence. I guess not until we have it, not on paper. Like he's not going to back an opinion on paper. And then Addicon then, I guess, saw the results from Mulgoat Kirby and probably used the clause himself and went, okay, yeah, they actually are good here, here, and here. I don't think that needs an apology. I need the clip of Addicon saying that he's merching, because like some people are making it sound like he was like, yeah, no monkey, yeah, he's just saying it to merch and scam you guys. He always does it. He's a bad person. Or is he just like, yeah, he's probably saying that just to merch them because he doesn't actually know what it is. Like, it depends on how, like, what he actually meant behind it. Like, what is the context? None of the clips we've watched have had anything specifically toxic towards No Monkey. No. A lot of it is, I would imagine, chatters blowing it out of proportion, and then the streamers are reacting based on what the chatters are telling them, and that's making the streamers either look or feel bad about it more than what they actually should, which is not the streamer's fault necessarily. Don't forget, No Monkey did 9/11. It's a dog shit meme. I don't know where that started, but it doesn't make sense. Slash isn't super funny because we all know that 9/11 is more of a holiday than anything. Really angsty game of telephone. Yeah, it sounds like Chinese Whispers is blown out of proportion. I don't think, from what I can see, Addicon doesn't need to apologize for shit. I think he's just taken a more logical stance based on the history of No Monkey being a little bit over the top with the way that he discusses changes and matters, and tries, like we saw it happen with the mixed hide. That was a fucking shit show, and the amount of people that come to not just my streams but other people's videos and it's like, why aren't you using mixed hide in TOA, and people are standing outside like trying to throw fucking stones at you for not wearing mixed hide. It's like, well, because I'm not a retard. Like, why the fuck would you use mixed hide in TOA? There are so many variables that counter the logic of using dog shit gear. Like, yet mixed hide went up by like 10k per piece for like 4 to 5 days. We saw it on Rune News. So was he merching mixed hide? No, I don't think he was merching mixed hide. I just think No Monkey kind of was, I don't think his intention was to trick everyone into thinking mixed hide was the best. I think he just saw it, he thought it was cool, and he probably presented it in a more spontaneous manner than he meant, and people just were like, oh, it's got to be the best. I agree with Addicon by not listening to No Monkey, because we've seen in the past that he doesn't have the capacity to think before he speaks, I think, but he doesn't say a lot of questionably bad shit. It's just like L takes on tap, basically. I was doing TOA at the time, and it was hella funny to see a bunch of people wearing mixed hide. Yeah. Very, like, No Monkey might not realize, or may not have fully understood at the time, his influence on people, which is fair. Like, you don't kind of expect it. It creeps up on you, but you can absolutely, you can manipulate the community very easily. A lot of, like, RuneScape players are dumb as fuck. No Monkey also accused him of attacking the community, which I never saw. I never saw attacking the community either. I would love to see more of that, and if we see more, we'll do another video on this, but I think it's poor influence, accidental influence on people, and it's just gotten out of hand, and Addicon's seen it, and so he's like, yeah, that's probably just another mixed hide incident where it's not entirely No Monkey's fault, and people have taken what Addicon's taken and just kind of twisted it to make it sound worse than it is. Unless there's something we're missing, I'd love to see it, and I want to know more, but I think people are just... It's a game of Chinese whispers, and they should probably just move on from it if they don't want any of this drama, Thought mixed hide was just in the guide for saving 2 slots in your 500 run. Melee ranged if you have non-bofa. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a fair argument to take. I think if you're at that point, though, you're probably better off taking Missouri and getting the bonus out of it. Plus, are you running out of potions, or are you dying because you're an idiot and you're just getting fucking KO'd? Like, what's getting you killed? The 2 extra slots might not actually save you if you're dying with 6 fucking restores in your inventory still. A Bone Claw's good in PvP? No idea, haven't touched him. That's literally what he said, and the community took it as best in slot because they are morons? Yeah. Like, maybe people are taking what No Monkey out of context too, and then just fucking throwing it at Addicon, and he's like, nah. 500 push is pretty slot tight? No, it's not. You're taking too much gear if it's slot tight. I personally die because I'm an idiot. A lot of people do. I think I think Addicon and No Monkey should just kiss and make up, because I don't think that I don't think this is as deep for them as the community is making it sound like. Like, I'm gonna upload this anyway because it's free views, free clicks, and I think it helps when there's drama like this in the community, because you get someone like me with common sense and a decent peace of mind on this sort of content to give you guys some insight. I don't think anyone's doing anything wrong at the end of the day. I think the chats are just dumb as fuck. It's another Oda Block Dino situation. Someone says one thing, everyone just starts fucking reeing. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn! Fuck me, look at that boy. It's huge! You got a big boy.